So this is the video people want me to watch. The Indie Elder Scrolls. Okay, let's look at this. I haven't seen this at all.
One of the greatest RPGs of the last 10 years is nothing but an Elder Scrolls wannabe. That's what PC Gamer just called it anyway. A game that just sold 1 million copies, made by an indie studio of just 50 developers. An RPG with more depth, build variety, and choice than anything Bethesda has shipped this decade. And honestly, that got under my skin. Because calling it a wannabe is not only lazy, it's completely backwards. It's not trying to be another Elder Scrolls. It's doing what Elder Scrolls used to do before Bethesda stopped trying, before they stopped caring. The skill progression, the quest choice, the weird sandbox systems that let you break things, the genuine consequences that actually stick. This is the game that Bethesda should be studying, because when Elder Scrolls 6 finally drops, if it drops, they better hope it's even half as good as what a 50-person indie team from Poland just built. And I'm going to show you exactly why. This is Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon, a first-person open-world RPG set in a dark Arthurian world, not the Noble Knights and Round Table version.
By the way, just real quick, I beat the entire game and the DLC. I played this. He's right. It's a great game. It's an amazing game.
The other one, Lakes of Blood, a decaying Camelot picked apart by plague, and Arthur's ghost, bitter and self-aware, watching you clean up the mess he left behind. It was built by Questline Studio, a subsidiary of Awaken Realms, a Polish board game publisher. And that background actually matters, because board games live or die on meaningful choices. Every decision has to count from the start. That philosophy came with them when they made this. The game launched into early access in 2023 and spent 2 years actually listening to player feedback, which already puts them miles ahead of Bethesda, who prefer the ignorance is bliss route. And it hit
I don't think people should look at Skyrim. I think they should look at Starfield, because Skyrim came out over, like, what was it? It came out 15 years ago now, right? Now Starfield, I think it came out in November 2011, and like Starfield is their new game. So you should look at what happened with Starfield and then base Elder Scrolls off of Starfield.
Release in May last year. Since then, they've shipped constant major updates. Patch 1.1 added New Game Plus, Transmog, new dungeons. Patch 1.2, which dropped last week, overhauled the entire third act with new locations, quests, enemies, and layout changes. A free DLC coming end of March this year too. And they just recently dropped Sanctuary of Saras, their first full expansion. 15 hours of content, 20 plus dungeons, 100 new equipment pieces, 3 entirely new skill trees. This isn't just a studio building an RPG, this is a studio listening to the players, committed to making the best RPG they possibly can. Not bad for
this game. So what makes this game very good is that it's not a 200-hour game, but it's a very controlled, well-designed experience that you can play in a lot of different ways. Like, you can play a melee build, you can play a summoner build, where you have different minions that do things for you, you can play a caster build, you can play a bow build, you can play a, a dagger, assassinate build. Like, I think that the best thing about Tainted Grail is its build variety. I think that's the best thing about the game. Like, for me, my character, I use like the big two-handed mace that you get at the beginning of the game. I just upgraded it a million times. It's so good. And it can proc with like an explosion. It's like Thor's hammer. And then I summon a bunch of guys that tank everything for me, and I just hit them. And I've beaten every boss like effortlessly. Like, dude, it's been so fucking easy. And I also have like magic skills that I can use too, and then you can empower your summons. It's a really, really good game. And the build variety with it is great.
We all miss the times where RPGs actually trusted you to think, where you could go anywhere, try anything, break everything, and the game would just let you do it. No endless quest markers holding your hand, no obvious correct...
Well, I think this game is a very guided experience. Like, there are things that happen and you discover spontaneously, but the game, it's not like Crimson Desert where it's like pretty much unguided entirely. Like, the majority of things in this game, like, it tells you what to do, and everything is also fully voice acted as well. And I think that one thing that this game has is that, especially in the first, I think the first zone is like by far the best zone. It's like not even remotely close. It's like just the first zone in Tainted Grail was like a fucking like 10 out of 10 RPG zone. And overall, it has a certain grit to it that I think that you don't get with modern games as much nowadays. You don't get it. It's great.
Choices. That freedom has been disappearing in front of our eyes, but Tainted Grail is absolutely dripping in it, in a way that we haven't really seen in a fantasy RPG since Morrowind. You want to get better at swords, use a sword. Better at magic, cast spells. Over 20 skill trees, no defined classes, no prescribed path. The game actively encourages you to build something weird. An alchemist berserker, a mystical blacksmith mage, something completely broken that probably shouldn't work but does.
It's exactly what I have. It's exactly what I fucking have.
And if you want to turn your enemies into cheese, yes, that's a natural thing, the game will let you do that too with a certain spell. Because it has...
There's this thing, you can channel a cheese beam onto something, and depending on how long and how powerful you are, and how powerful the monster is, you can literally turn it into a piece of cheese.
Has that older feral RPG instinct where mechanics are allowed to just be funny and stupid.
Beam,
Tons of side quests, a massive world to explore, strange characters to meet. The game doesn't just give you the correct answer because there isn't one. The choice is always yours to make. And the consequences of those decisions stick with you. Join one faction, lose access to another, forever. Stick your arm in a frog's mouth and lose it permanently. I'm serious. What you choose not to do matters just as much as what you do. That's the philosophy of the entire game. And if all of that sounds familiar, it should, because that's exactly what Elder Scrolls used to be.
It's what it's what games in general used to be. And I think that after a while, they stopped really. 6 out of 10 on IGN, by the way. Tainted Grit? No way. No way. This is pathetic. This is genuinely fucking pathetic. And also, again, Tainted Grail does not follow modern audience, thinking at all. Click more reviews. I don't know. Give me actually 1 second. I got something in my throat. Excuse me. All right. Anyway, to be fair, when it came out, it had game-breaking bugs, a lot of it, but still. I mean, I think that the first, like, maybe 5 hours of the game are kind of rough because you don't really have your build made. But, like, other than that, I mean, it's such a good game. And, like, once you're cooking in this game, oh, my God. Like, I played it on hard mode. It's a joke. Like, the game is so fucking easy. It's insane. Like, honestly, that would be, like, one of my only criticisms of it is that it's too easy. It's too easy. Like, uneven difficulty. There's nothing hard in the game. If you're struggling at anything in the game, you're garbage. You're garbage. You suck. So, sounds like Crimson Desert. Yeah, it kind of does, actually. Unlike Starfield, which has 0 bugs at all. Yeah, Starfield had so many bugs. No, a 6 from IGN. Bro, I feel like every game that's a 6 is actually a fucking 9, right? Like, I would rate Tainted Grail a 9. I would give it like an 8.5 to a 9. Probably closer to a 9. I actually think that the DLC wasn't at the same quality as the main story. The DLC was decent, but I thought the main story was better, personally.
Bethesda decided it was too complicated for you. So calling Tainted Grail an Elder Scrolls wannabe is bordering on an insult. It says that Tainted Grail is chasing something.
It's patronizing, it's diminutive, and it's intentionally trying to downplay its success.
To imitate playing catch up.
That's exactly what it's sitting at on Steam. Wait, really? Let me see here. What does it say? 4.5. Damn. See, like, I don't need to. This is the reason why I make up statistics. Is because they just turn out to be right.
The Elder Scrolls abandoned all of this depth over 20 years ago. The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind had proper attributes, stats that actually changed how your character moved through the world. Skill progression was tied to how much you used them. Genuine choice, complexity that rewarded experimentation, quests you could actually fail at, NPCs
There's a transcendent player experience that you go through whenever you play an old RPG. And one of the big reasons why is because so many of them are so fucking punishing. Holy shit. Like, you do one thing wrong and you're fucking dead. And now your character's disabled for the rest of your playthrough? Wait, what? They're so unforgiving. It's insane.
Could kill and break entire storylines, factions that were at war with each other and actually meant it, and you had to pick a side. And then came Skyrim, attributes gone, skill trees simplified, and somewhere along the way you can be the Archmage of the College of Winterhold without casting a single spell. You can lead the Companions and the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood simultaneously. You can't fail most quests because the game quietly makes sure that you can't. Half the NPCs are flagged as essential, so you literally cannot kill them even if you try. And Skyrim is a brilliant game. The world building is amazing. It's massive.
Well, I mean, it's a game made for a large audience, right? It's made. I mean, like, that's the thing is, like, you're like the deep cut games, the PoE 2s, the Tainted Grails, the like Wuthering Waves is never going to be as popular as Genshin Impact because it's a deeper cut, higher complexity, much higher difficulty, and it's a gamer's game. I don't think there's anything wrong with Kazan. Yeah, Kazan is never going to be as popular as Elden Ring because it's just too hard. It's way too hard. Like, you're never going to have Nine Souls compete with Hollow Knight. It's just way harder. That's it. I've never played Skyrim. Never.
But it's made a trade-off, removed all of the depth for accessibility, the consequences for comfort, and Bethesda has been making those same trade-offs in every game since. Strip out the complexity, dismiss any complaints, acknowledge it didn't work years down the line, but then just do it all over again in Starfield. A million people...
Starfield was horrible. It was a profoundly bad game. It was, like, impressively bad. It was like, wow. And y'all were able to make $300 million disappear? That's crazy.
Just bought Tainted Grail.
David
that
Blaine
demand
up in
for real depth and choice didn't disappear. It just waited for a studio who was actually paying attention. We're in a time now where Bethesda are being left behind.
It's just, whenever I go back and I watch this game, you know what this looks like? This looks like, hey guys, AI generated this video game with Grok. And then everybody in the comments saying, this is soulless slop. Nobody's going to buy AI games. AI games are not the future. You're a fucking idiot. Like, oh, you're in India. Like, everything, bro.
Left behind. They spent the last decade chasing ideas nobody asked for. Fallout 76, Starfield's procedurally generated soulless emptiness, Redfall's catastrophic failure, smoothing off every rough edge of their games until there was nothing interesting left to hold on to. And while this was happening, independent and AA studios were quietly doing the opposite, giving us what we actually want.
And by the way, there is a chance that Tainted Grail was the first draft, and I think it's called Fatebringer will be the final draft. Because that game it looks like this, but with RTX turned on. Insane quality. Ridiculous fucking quality.
Larian spent years making Baldur's Gate 3, a deep, complex, consequence-driven RPG where your choices actually matter, where you can break quests, kill important characters, fail spectacularly, and the world responds. It's now sold over 20 million copies, won Game of the Year, nobody saw it coming, least of all the publishers and studios like Bethesda who'd spent years...
And another really big component to this is that the replayability. Like, I mean, there's no way Chance hasn't played at least 1,000 hours of Baldur's Gate 3, right? I mean, there's a lot of people, I assume, that have probably played over 1,000 hours of Baldur's Gate 3. And the reason why is because it has that replayability. And that replayability is achieved by meaningful choices that lock you out of other choices. because it's like, well, what would it be like if I went back and I did this? What would happen if I just killed everybody that I met? What would happen if X, Y, or Z, right? And so that's really the way I think about it. And also, and you see that and Elden Ring's the same way. It's the exact same way.
As complex RPGs weren't viable. And then Warhorse Studios shipped Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, a massive, dense, historically accurate really RPG that doesn't hold your hand, doesn't protect you from failure.
No, it does not.
And expects you to actually engage with its systems. Another massive hit. And now Questline, 50 people built Tainted Grail, an RPG with more genuine depth and consequence than anything Bethesda has released this decade. The appetite for complex choice-driven RPGs never disappeared. Bethesda just decided those players didn't really matter anymore, so those players found studios who thought they did. And now here we are, the wannabe Elder Scrolls quietly doing everything Bethesda forgot how to. So if you've been waiting for the kind of fantasy...
And also, like, if you want to talk about like this tree, for example, so the way this tree works is that this is the DLC tree, and whenever you get a point in this tree, you can swap in real time in game between the warrior tree, the rogue tree, and the caster tree. So like it's a keybind. And you can level up each tree independently. So like if you get 5 points, you can put 5 points in this, 5 points in this, 5 points in this, and you can swap them around all the time. And so, because there's another component to this where some developers, they try to design a game and they think that making a game old school means that a meaningful choice means making respecking annoying. A meaningful choice means meaning that you can't use certain weapons if you pick a certain talent tree. That's not a meaningful choice. That's just annoying. And I think that whenever you punish players in that way for making choices, what happens is that, and this is a very simple psychology behavior, when you punish players substantially, players try much harder to avoid being punished. And they look it up. And with this game, that's not the case. Respect is what everybody wants, yes. But but the choices that you do make in the game are choices that are storyline decisions. They're like, well, do you want to save or, destroy this kingdom? Or do you want to, kill or not kill this guy or whatever? Or do you want to help this guy or not? I mean, basically the story, I don't want to give away or spoil it too much, right? But there are very, very consequential decisions that you have to make. And those are the consequential decisions people want to make. They don't want to have to make consequential decisions in their talent trees. And this is an understanding of RPG mentality that respects the player while simultaneously giving people what they want. I think that's a good thing.
Scrolls quietly doing everything Bethesda forgot how to. So if you've been waiting for the kind of fantasy RPG that actually trusts you, that gives you real choices, real consequences, real freedom to experiment and break things, this is it. This isn't an Elder Scrolls wannabe, it never was. It's the game that revived a philosophy Bethesda spent 15 years quietly abandoning. And when Elder Scrolls 6 finally arrives, whenever...
And it's edgy too, the game's edgy too, it's really good.
That is, the bar has been set. The wannabe label got it completely backwards. Tainted Grail isn't trying to be Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls should be trying to be this. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. It really does help me out massively. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.
I mean, he's totally fucking right. I mean, I agree with everything that he's saying in this video, and I'm a huge fucking fan of this, right? I love this. This is so good.